I think it's time that we do the tier list again, shall we? Now, this is the Prydwen tier list. I will commentate over it. And if there is anything weird that I disagree, I will tell you why and where they should be. Now, a little disclaimer before we begin. I feel like any character is going to be fine clearing stuff, so don't worry about it if you don't have the craziest character. The ultimate character that just released and you don't have it, try to ignore it a little bit. You will eventually have enough to get the good characters. Don't worry about it. If you're a new player, you can use whatever you want. It's fine if you're losing like a little bit of you can clear UTTU fully or you can clear Limbo fully. You're gonna lose like 1 pull, 2 pulls, 3 pulls. I know that as free to play it might feel like a fucking blasphemy, but what do you want to do? Do you want to pay? Do you want to use like 60 plus pulls to get 3, 4, 5 pulls back from Limbo? Assuming you can, because sometimes you can't even. Or do you want to lose 3 pulls but gain 60 because you didn't pull, right? So I feel like you should wait until some crazy characters. For now, in 1.7, you could easily skip everybody. In my opinion, you could pull Marcus, but you will see why Marcus right now is in A+ tier in 1.7, even though she's not out. We know already why, right? Because we play CN. Now, first of all, let's check global 1.7 and raid, and then we'll move to overall CN, so we can see what's different. Now, in the standard, we see obviously Chinensu, Isolde, and Tutferi. Isolde is here, and not just S. And these characters are lower because of the fact that the content is catered towards Isolde and Marcus, because it's their patch, they just came out, so usually that's how it works. So the content is going to be easier to clear with Isolde because the mob are going to be like more susceptible to burn or more like they're weak against spirit, who knows, right? That said, the other characters are really good, but they are not insane because of those reasons. Now, Tutferi and Chinensu are kind of eternal, so you're gonna see Tutferi and Isolde here for a very long time. Now, Isolde is really, really strong, and basically it's Dark 6, like I say on my streams, because she is really, really good, regardless of Spadodia. Regardless of Spadodia, Spadodia needs Isolde, Isolde doesn't need Spadodia. You can use Isolde in any team, she will do well, she will apply a lot of burn, she will debuff the enemy, she will deal a lot of damage, and eventually the more she's in the combat, the more damage she's gonna do. So she is an all-rounder, more aggressive version of 6. 6 is still really good, but is not as aggressive and as like damage oriented as Isolde. So it's basically like they're like the opposite of each other, kind of, but I like to think it that way. Now, these characters are fine to be here. Jessica still holding strong, 37 getting carried by the follow-up attackers, Melania getting carried by her Mox removal and burst ultimate, Jessica getting carried by the fact that she is really strong. The only reason why she's going to disappear soon from the S tier is because of Sotheby is really dog shit. So if they don't fix Sotheby as soon as possible, we're gonna have to pray for some more poison stuff. Like I made a video about it, but who knows, right? Now Annalie is up here because of Marcus, but Annalie is a good character. But because of Marcus is here because she's high maintenance. If you pull Marcus, you are missing some key characters that are gonna make her strong, which is Dila in 1.8, and you also need to own either 6 or Annalie, or potentially both is gonna be the best. She needs 2 or 3Plant of Flatus, or 2 Plant of Flatus and 1 Intelligence of Flatus or Spirit of Flatus in her team to make her passive work. Otherwise, she's not gonna gain as much from her passive, and she needs to upgrade her cards. That's how she works. It's like a new meta, not a meta, but it's a new type of way of playing, a new type of gameplay strat, which is the upgrade of the cards. She likes to upgrade the cards all the time. She uses Eureka to upgrade the cards. You don't get enough Eureka if you don't respect her passive. So that is the problem, that you need to use Sotheby as a healer if you want to heal in a team with Marcus, and want to keep the passive up. Otherwise, you need to wait until Vila, and she's gonna be kind of whatever until Vila. That's why she's A+, right? Now, these characters are fine. Ezra is not my jam, but if you like this character, it is strong. It is strong. He debuffs. Does a big shield. Does respectable Genesis damage on the enemy. So it is an option, but if you didn't get him, it's fine. You're not missing much. You can just use Yenisei, right? Everybody has Yenisei from Chunyansu, so you can use Yenisei. These characters are fine. These characters are fine. They should be here, in my opinion. Medicine Pocket, I would argue they can become S on certain aspects. I use them still to this day. Necrologist is down here, but she will skyrocket on the raids. If we move to the raids, we'll see that she skyrockets to S because, you know, Main's Bulletin is basically a battle of attrition. You want to survive at least until 30. The higher you survive, the higher score you're eventually going to get. So having Necrologist helping you not die, buffing you and dispelling the enemy is really good assets. And at this point, I feel if you're not a new player, you have Necrologist P5 or close to P5 anyway, right? And now, glad to see Medicine Poker and S. Gatian, really good. It's going to be a really good buffer for and debuffer for reality. His array gives 40% more damage to reality damage dealers, and he also with the bones debuff, he also applies ulterior reality debuff on the enemies. Now, this character here, Marcus, skyrockets to S, most likely because of the fact that some of the raids are going to be catered towards Spirit and Plant. That's what I am guessing. Or maybe there is going to be a stage bonus that is going to be good for Marcus. Oh, it's going to give you +1 of every incantation, right? Stuff like that. And Marcus is going to basically get fixed by the stage of Main's Bulletin. That's why she goes back to S. She will be S eventually, but for now we don't have the characters. Every other character I feel like it's fine. Everyone is doing their best. Sotheby skyrockets up to skyrockets. Goes 1 up to A. I still think that poison application from Sotheby is good. The two problems of Sotheby, and that's why I'd rather not use them in with Jessica, and even if that means losing damage with for Jessica, it's because her ult removes the poison that I want to be there. Why are you removing the poison? And her heal is just bad. It's cure, it's very low, and it applies the next turn, which is really bad. So if they fix her, if they make it so she triggers the damage of the poison but doesn't remove the stack on the ult, and they either increase dramatically the cure potency, or they make it so she just heals whenever you click the card instead of preparing for the next turn. Maybe I want to heal next turn, right? If they do that, Sotheby is going to be really good, and we can just finally use her with Jessica, and Jessica is going to get her poison up time back to where it should be. That's why they are low. She is lower than Marcus. Marcus is going to be boosted by Main's Bulletin for now, right? Now 6 goes back up, makes sense. So this is completely fine, I agree with it. Now let's go to the CN, and CN is automatically overall is automatically switched to CN, even though this is not switched. So as we can see here, we have a lot of new characters. We have Winsong, Lucy, Jay, Semmelweis, and Kakania, and Vila that are not present for now, right? There are other characters as well, like for example Lorelei, but Lorelei is a free character that we can eventually get to P5 as well. She's from the new roguelike that we're going to get in 1.9. Now this is going to be really that roguelike is really fun. We're going to play a lot of it, even on stream. It's really fun, and it's way better than the one that we had in 1.6. That said, let's go back now. Lucy, when it comes, I feel like Lucy is stronger than Chunyansu, and by going into standard and clicking this, and raid and clicking this. Now just for raid, Chunyansu holds, but I feel like for the content, Lucy is still fucking cracked. I feel like still to this day, I feel like Lucy is the strongest character in the whole game. by a long shot. Because she is intelligence, she gets pragmatism, she gets, which is ignoring the Afflatus type, and whoever she attacks is counted as advantage plus 10%, which is 40% more damage to that enemy. She is reality damage, which means that a character like Gatian, and that's why I picked Gatian, even though I wanted to skip him. I picked Gatian after Lucy came out because Gatian is going to give another 40% damage to anyone in his array that is reality damage, plus probably even more if he debuffs, right? And he's going to automatically debuff when he does the ult. Now, Gatian and Lucy, Gatian also is going to give Lucy a lot of dynamo stacks because he's going to gain Eureka and it's going to gain Moxie at the start of the turn, at the start of the battle. It's going to gain Eureka every time it does the ult, right? So it's going to be really good for Lucy and her dynamo acquisition. Now after the ult you do get overcharged ammunition, which is going to give you easy dynamo, so you do 2 cards, and since you need 20 dynamo to get to the permanent upgrade, this is going to be really good. And what are the permanent upgrades? Lucy is able to permanently upgrade her cards, her ult, and her extra attack. Whenever someone dies, she will do an extra attack. What is it? Does it do some... I don't remember when she does it, but she will do it when someone dies. Whenever an enemy is defeated, gains 10 dynamo and 1 stack of data iteration. Then casts Conservation of Energy, which is the card that we can't see it for some reason. We can't see it. They didn't show it. I don't know why. They didn't show it. But it's a cross laser that attacks everybody. It does damage. We can read it here. It's a mass attack, deal 100% reality damage to all enemies, consume 10 dynamo to gain 50% penetration rate. This attack is considered a rank 2 incantation. After advancements that you can do permanently advance, it deals the same amount of damage but consumes dynamo to 50% rate. Still, if the target current health is less than 50, deals additional 50% reality damage, ignores dodge, and doesn't trigger counter or riposte. This attack is considered a rank 2 incantation. And that's just the extra attack when someone just dies. And someone dies, right? It has it can trigger 2 times per round. So if you're fighting minions or like boss win minions that are really easy to kill, Lucy is just like insane, right? So I would suggest that you pull Lucy. I was saying in Italian, consiglio. Now, Winsong is really strong. A lot of people were arguing that she wasn't as strong as Shunitsu. I was arguing that she was strong, as strong as Shunitsu. Winsong is really good. She needs a little bit of waiting a little bit, but she is really good. So that makes sense. Now, she's going to, when you do the ult, it's going to cast every card in your hand, and they're going to crit, so it's going to like boom, 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 and it's going to help because they're follow-up attacks. They count as follow-up attacks. It's going to help once again 37 getting carried by everybody. Vila, another Giga healer. Even if you don't have any mental character, you still should pick up Vila and should treat Vila as a must pull for every account. Because as you can see here, they're going to be the new Wombo combo permanently S+ characters. One half is going to use Tooth Fairy, one half is going to use Vila. If you have a reality team, you use Tooth Fairy. If you have a mental team, you use Vila. Even if you don't have a mental team, you have 2 reality. Even using Vila, you're going to lose a little bit of damage here and there, crit damage. Who gives a fuck? At least you have a crazy healer that is really good and also gets in the Rusalka status. Is going to give everybody free heal if you don't act with Vila, or if you do act, it's going to buff people, give them a lot of damage. And she also gives a Jolly card, a special card that doesn't consume AP that you can use to give someone 1 Moxie and 1 Eureka. Really cracked for Marcus if you're playing them together, which you should. But still good for everybody else. You can also use it on herself, so by the time you are done being in that weird status, you almost ready to go back into it, right? Because you are giving yourself Moxie for free every turn. It's going to end up with like 4 Moxie. I believe if you get some portraits, you will be able to get her immediately back into ult, because you will end up with 4 Moxie, and if you do at least 1 card, you will get to 5. The moment you stop, you can ult again. If you have P5, I believe, because it enhances the Rusalka status to 4 turns, which is 4 special card, which is 4 Moxie, right? 4 Moxie. Now, these characters still good, nothing to say. Now, the new characters. Jay, we don't have Mercuria added yet. We don't have Mercuria added yet, even though she's out. They're kind of slacking a little bit. Jay is understandably S. He's really good. He's a little like sketchy to use. It's kind of scary to use, because you know how annoying in the encounters can be. You can like easily die. So having Jay losing his HP constantly is going to be something to keep an eye on. But he can be really, really strong if you are fighting enemies that do a lot of AoEs, because you're gonna shield everybody, and anyone getting attacked is going to trigger J follow-up AoE that also applies burn, which is really good. Now, if you have Spatodia, I wouldn't give a fuck about J personally. If you don't have Spatodia, you could think about getting J, or just if you don't like how it works and how it looks, you can just wait for Spatodia rerun, assuming we don't get another G8 banner. Now, these characters are fine. As you can see, Melania is still going strong. Let's fucking go. The camera exploding. Okay, it's not exploding anymore. Kakania, really, really good support. Now, if you use her instead of a healer, it's not as crazy. I feel like you should use her as in a 4-man team alongside a healer. In that way, you can just focus on doing everything else, right? Buffing, attacking, and hoping that you take as much damage as you can, so you can charge your empathy. But yeah, Summel-wise is free, and it's really nice that she is free NS. It's nice that she S because she's free, right? Now, the problem is that the portraits are going to be in the standard banner, so maybe eventually we'll fail 50-50 to her, or we will see some of her portraits inside that shop that always has only standard character. You might start seeing Semmelweis there, but yeah, you know, it's a really good character. She will drain HP, but in exchange of a lot of power, so it makes sense. She also does an array. Mass buff, all allies lose 20% of her current HP, set up array, Blood Red Realm, lasts for 3 rounds, enters wild, which is damage reduction for every 10 HP lost, 5% damage bonus up to 40%. Now, this is the name of the array. So, HP lost when attacking, right? So, what is going to happen is she loses HP when she attacks. And she also gets the wild. In the state at the end of the turn, cast Truth Revealed, which is an AoE follow-up attack. Mass attack deals 80% reality damage to all enemies. Then she loses HP to do reality damage, and then she buffs the target with a new blood, which is before casting an incantation, lose 5% of current HP, increasing critical rate. So what you want to do is oh, by the way, all allies gain 15% damage bonus. That gets 20 and 30% at level 3, and the ally under new blood gains 10% more. So you buff one, everybody gets 15 or plus, then that character gets plus 10%. They are losing HP, but if you are losing HP inside the array, now you are dealing way more and more HP damage bonus, percentage damage bonus up to 40% because you're losing HP. So this is 10% HP. This is going to be 5% HP. So if you do 2 attacks during new blood, you're getting a +5. Now it's 3 rounds, so it's a little weird, But you know, like it's actually pretty good. Now her insight is just losing current HP, getting 3 Moxie, and upon entering battle, she just immediately bleeds. After casting ultimate, lose 10% current HP, getting 1 Moxie. When in wild status, every time a ally loses HP, increases reality damage of her mass attack special by 30%. I am kind of retarded today. It is what it is. Sometimes it do be like that. So anything weird, right? Anything weird that I'm seeing, like, oh, it shouldn't be here, this should be too high. I feel like this is too high. I understand that Annalie is there for Marcus realistically, but I still think Annalie is a little too high. She is good, but compared to everybody else, who would you bring, right? I think it's only for Marcus. I think it's only for Marcus, but it is good to see a standard character being this high still to this day on 2.0 CN, right? So the other characters are fine. Also Yenisei, I'm glad to see here. Any unfairness? Jessica still being treated like as shit because of the fact that she doesn't have as much poison oriented character. Medicine Pocket a little low, I will put it in S. Pickles a little low, Necrosis a little low. Understandable, these characters are like kind of falling off because you have better options that give more things that you'll need way more. August is a little August was I feel like they tried to go for a type of gameplay and then they changed their mind. They were going with the movement of characters, or like depending on where your character is in the team, they get different things. That's why August did, and then that's what happened. That's what started happening in some monsters in 1.9 and 2.0. They would like switch you and like attack, you know, like also in UTTU we started getting cards like, oh, the back character gets more defense, the top character gets more attack, right? So that said, poor Lilia, god damn, that must suck. Hopefully they fix them, because they will fix some, they will start fixing in 1.1 and in 2.1, so we'll see, right? That said, thank you for watching. A little long of a video. Use it as a podcast. I don't know, you don't have to watch, I'm not pointing at anything anyway. That said, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think. If you have any idea, this is not a pool plan video. I might do that. If you guys want it, let me know in the comments. Do you guys want a pool, a new video about like what to pull for? Let me know. That's it. Thank you for watching and see you next time.